In your case, wait for the amputation. Donghai City's top 3 hospitals. A man in a white coat looked at Wuan and spoke out the sentence indifferently. By the way, I will pay the amputation fee later, no delay. Otherwise, at your own risk. The man in the white coat shook his head, his tone was full of contempt. In his view, Wuan is a disabled person about to be amputated. Didn't even have the qualifications to let him take a look. Amputation? Wuan's face changed. He did not expect that this result was waiting for him. Doctor, is there any other treatment? Wuan clenched his fists and couldn't help saying. If there is a choice, who would want to amputate? Yes, yes, but do you bear the huge cost? Trust me, amputation is the best choice for you. The man in the white coat said impatiently. People like Wuan, he has seen too many. Always like wishful thinking. But what about the facts? The reality is cruel. Do you even have a chance to choose? The little nurse next to Wuan looked at Wuan sympathetically. What a handsome little brother. Unfortunately, I will be amputated soon. Thinking of this, the little nurse felt even more regretful. Okay, I get it. Wuan took a deep look at the man in the white coat. The man in the white coat was suddenly speechless when Wuan saw it like this. Because he suddenly discovered that Wuan's performance was different from that of ordinary patients. Normal patients, when they learn that they are about to be amputated, their reaction is absolutely violent. Crazy. Do not believe. Unwilling. I have seen all these men in white coats. Is it just Wuan? From Wuan's eyes, all he saw was peace. Can't afford to make waves. Like an abyss. This surprised the man in the white coat. Even the ridiculous words that were originally intended to be spoken are swallowed again. How do you do it yourself? The man in the white coat left this sentence and fled. As if not daring to stay next to Wuan. Wuan saw this scene without the slightest expression, still leaning on the hospital bed quietly. If 1 year ago, Wu's family is still there, a little doctor, dare to talk to him like this? I am afraid that his young master Wu has long been sent to the top VIP ward, and various professors and experts are waiting by the side. A year ago, Wu family is the top 4 families in Donghai City. Powerful. And Wuan is the youngest of Wu family. Is definitely the top prince in Donghai City. Is also a year ago. Wu's house collapsed. Wu's business empire turned into a dream bubble. And his young master Wu fell directly from the top of the cloud into the quagmire. Can only survive in Donghai City. Who did the Wu family? Wuan took a deep breath and shook his head with a wry smile. What's the point of thinking about this now? Do you know that Wuan can avenge his hatred and re-establish the Wu family if he knows the black hand behind the scenes? What are you kidding? Jingle bell. Just then, Wuan's cell phone rang suddenly. Wuan clicked on the phone and chose to accept the video call. Suddenly, a picture appeared on the phone screen. In the picture, the first thing that catches the eye is a delicate girl. The girl has a beautiful face, wearing pink pajamas, as if she came out of the second dimension. At this time, she looked at Wuan with big eyes blinking. Brother, when are you coming back? Nini is hungry. The girl's little mouth pursed, pitifully. I'll be back soon. Wuan stalled as if nothing had happened, and said lightly. Nini is the girl in the video. She and Wuan are not related by blood. 1 year ago, the Wu family declined. Wuan picked up a dirty Nini from the trash. At that time, Wuan saw Nini, her heart softened, and she adopted Nini. This year, Wuan suffered all the ridicule. If it weren't for Nini who had been around to encourage her, Wuan really doesn't know if he still has the courage to continue living. Good brother, Nini. Nini said something very cleverly. Hang up the video call, Wuan's spirit is shocked. No matter what, you must try to live. What about amputation? You can't live after amputation. I not only want to live, but also to live wonderfully. For this year, people who look down on me will know that I, Wuan, is not only alive, but also alive very well. Wuan's expression suddenly became free and easy. Seems to see through everything. Suddenly, ding! There was a crisp sound in Wuan's ear. Host detected. Start binding now. Bind successfully. Congratulations to the host for successfully binding the 10,000 Realms boss system. Wuan looked down. What? What's happening here? System? Wuan was once obsessed with online novels, and naturally knows what the system is. Yes, this system will assist the host, travel through the world and become the most powerful guy. The world of random shuttles, the world of martial arts, the world of high martial arts, the world of novels, the world of animation, the world of movies, and the supreme source world. The host will interact with the protagonist of each world, complete the tasks assigned by the system, and get rewards. Rewards include talents, skills, bloodlines, treasures and even memories, etc. I go. Wuan reacted suddenly. There was a lot of excitement on his face. This is incredible. The heavens and the world? Apart from the earth, are there really the heavens and the world? After 1 minute, the system will help the host to shuttle to the world of under one person. Under one person? Wuan stunned. Wuan likes this anime very much. I stayed up all night and watched it dozens of times. Various character plots in the anime, Wuan is so badly remembered. But he couldn't think of it, there would be a chance to go to this world. 1 minute. But in my current situation, it is difficult to walk, how can I complete the task? Wuan is anxious. It suddenly occurred to him that his body is very bad. Even the doctor recommended amputation. Don't worry, as the first host of the system, this system will repair the entire body of the host. Wuan suddenly felt a warm current rise in his body. In just 10 seconds, Wuan discovered that he was seriously injured in his already unconscious leg, and suddenly became able to move. Not only that, Wuan also feels full of strength all over her body. Cool. This feeling is so cool. Wuan almost called out. System, let's start, I'm ready. Wuan turned over and jumped off the hospital bed. Ding! Trouble the host to the top of the building. Wuan left the ward without hesitation and came to the roof. Please keep moving forward. The system prompts sounds. Wuan followed the instructions of the system. Reading www.yunsha.com went straight to the edge of the building. The cold wind is biting. Wuan lowered his head and looked downstairs at a height of several hundred meters. Please keep moving forward. The system prompt sounded again. Ah! Wuan chuckled, without a trace of fear. Saw him step out, stepping in the air. The whole person fell from the top of a building hundreds of meters high. Suddenly, a colorful channel appeared under Wuan. Wuan disappeared from the real world. At the same time, an anxious little nurse chased to the top of the building. Where is that handsome little brother? The doctor's suggestion of amputation will not make him think about it. The little nurse just saw that Wuan went to the top of the building and hurried to catch up. What? As soon as she went to the top of the building, she saw Wuan jump off the top of the building. Brother, calm down. The little nurse hissed to exhaustion. But when she rushed to the edge and looked down, she suddenly looked confused. Where is this, the person? Where are people? The little nurse has a scalp numb. She saw with her own eyes that Wuan jumped from this place. But now, you find that people are missing? Even if you really jump off the building, there must be a dead body, right? But the little nurse discovered in horror that there was no trace of Wuan at all. As if the whole person disappeared out of thin air. How is this possible? During the day, did I hit a ghost? The little nurse just felt cold behind her back and she was sweating. Not to mention the psychological shadow area caused by Wuan's disappearance out of thin air. At this time, Wuan has come to the world of under one person. Moonstar is rare. Vulture hiss. There is a smell of decadence in the air. Where is this? Wuan frowned and suddenly felt a little uneasy. You know, the world of under one person is not an ordinary urban world. In this world, there are strangers. Different people control the innate qi, among which the strong, the enemy is against 100 people and 1,000 people. Can easily exceed the limit of ordinary people. This should be the cemetery. Time should be after Zhang Xilan's body was stolen. Wuan looked around his eyes, and suddenly remembered. This cemetery is the cemetery where Bao Bao Feng and Zhang Hulan met. Is also where the plot begins. It's a big game. This is really a big game. Wuan has a headache, her expression is fluctuating. Knowing the plot, he naturally knew that Zhang Xilan's body had been stolen. The person who stole away was a corpse chaser in Xiangzi. And this corpse chaser in Xiangzi was driven by Liu Liang of the whole nature to steal the corpse. Not only that. In this cemetery, there is still the backhand of the corpse-driving man in Xiangzi. The corpse underground will break out of the ground soon. Ding! Task release. Main mission, get Zhang Hulan's approval. Side mission, kill zombies. System sound is coming as expected. Wait for the system, I'm just an ordinary person, how can I kill the zombies? Wuan's mouth twitched and couldn't help saying. Do not panic the host, as the first host in this system, naturally you must ensure the survival rate of the mission. So the system will give out a gift package for beginners. May I open it? Open, of course open. Wuan stayed, and said immediately. What a joke! There is no need to hang, keep it for the new year? Wuan's words just fell, in S field of vision, a big gift bag exuding noble golden light suddenly appeared. Click! Gift bag exploded. Ding! Congratulations to the host, for getting a diamond talisman. This talisman can be used 3 times, each lasting 10 minutes. During use, your speed, strength, and agility will increase 5 times. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have doubled the reward. After the end of this world, the mission reward doubled. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have obtained an Earth Escape Talisman. After using it, you can escape anywhere in a radius of 10 miles. Seeing the items from the gift pack, Wuan was immediately excited. These 3 items are extremely useful. Needless to say, King Kong Talisman. Whether the task can be completed or not depends on it. The reward is doubled even more. In other words, no matter what reward Wuan gets in this world. With this special effect, double it directly. Is so cool. As for the Earth Escape Amulet, it is Wuan's greatest support for life. Can't beat, just use the Earth Escape. Who can catch up? Wuan immediately rose in confidence. Have these 3 reliances. It's hard for him to die. In that case, I have come to the task. Wu settled down and strode towards the cemetery. In the cemetery, Zhang Hulan was dragged into the pit by Bao Bao Bao. Bao Bao Feng is shoveling soil and intends to bury Zhang Hulan directly. At this time. 2. Please stop. Wuan appeared in front of the 2 indifferently. At this time, he has the Vajra Talisman and the Earth Escape Talisman, even if he faces the longevity person Feng Bao Bao. Didn't panic at all. Even a little bit curious. Which are you? Feng Bao Bao was expressionless, glanced at Wuan, and asked in an unsentimental Sichuan dialect. And Zhang Hulan looked at Wuan with shock. Because Wuan is so handsome. Originally, Wuan inherited the excellent genes of the Wu family perfectly, and belongs to the handsome guy among the handsome guys. Plus system repair, not only repaired Wuan's physical injuries, has repaired the mental trauma and also repaired it. Resulting from this, Wuan's whole body is full of shine. Is Feng Baobao to be indifferent? Besides, even Zhang Hulan is full of shock. I am a friend of Zhang Hulan. Wuan smiled lightly, and said. Are you his friend? Baby Feng is silent. Friends? Zhang Hulan looked dazed, and looked hard at Wuan. Why doesn't he remember that he has such a handsome friend? So give me face and let me take him away. Wuan's eyes turned, and he looked at Bao Feng again, saying very sincerely. The main task of the system requires him to be approved by Zhang Hulan. Therefore, Wuan Ke made this request. Thank you, brother. Zhang Hulan heard this and looked at Wuan moved. He couldn't think that Wuan was here to save him. According to Zhang Hulan now, Bao Feng is a devil. A devil who wants to bury him. And Wuan is naturally the hero who came to save him. All of a sudden, Zhang Hulan's affection for Wuan rose rapidly. If it weren't for Feng Bao beside him, it would be possible to bow on the spot. Bao Feng did not speak. 1 minute. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. 5 minutes later, Bao Feng still did not speak. While this worried Zhang Hulan, she breathed a sigh of relief. At the very least, Bao Feng did not refuse. Click. At this moment, a cold breath rushed toward you. Da-da-da. Stiff silhouette after another, constantly emerging, coming from all directions. This is... Wuan's face changed. Because she is familiar with the plot, Wuan has not let her guard down. The abnormal changes in the outside world, he noticed it immediately. Feng Baobao's face has not changed much though. But Wuan believes that she must have noticed it too. Well, since you are friends, then I won't bother you. Bao Feng said this sentence blankly, and turned around and ran away. Hey! Finally gone. When Zhang Hulan saw this, she relaxed. She is gone, but the trouble did not go away. Wuan looked solemn, and said every word. What do you mean, brother? Zhang Hulan was surprised. But, when he followed Wuan's gaze and looked in all directions, his face suddenly stiffened. What the is this? Zhang Hulan is almost crying. He never dreamed that when the demon Feng Baobao left, a group of zombies were ushered in. Zhang Hulan, what are you still being patient with? Wuan suddenly spoke. What do you mean, brother? Zhang Hulan looked dazed. You are a stranger. A stranger with unlimited potential. But you are mediocre now. Reading www.yuyuganshu.com is mixed among ordinary people. Unless you face life and death, you will never expose your strength. Wuan raised the corner of his mouth and laughed. 1 day has passed. A year has passed. 10 years have passed. Even you have forgotten who you are. What kind of power is in control? Wuan's words fell in Zhang Hulan's ears without missing a word. How do you know? Zhang Hulan's face is full of shock. This secret. Except for his dead grandfather, and his father who has been missing for many years. No one knows at all. And Wuan? How did know? How did know it again? Don't worry about how I know. You just need to remember. Why is the dragon willing to be ordinary? It is also a dragon. It's not an ant. Wuan glanced at Zhang Hulan, turned around, and rushed towards the surrounding zombies. System, start the diamond talisman. Suddenly, a light golden light emerged from Wuan's body. Wuan can only feel that a hot stream is flooding the limbs. This hot current directly improved Wuan's physical fitness 5 times. Power. Speed. Agile. 5 times as much as possible. Then, in Zhang Hulan's endless shocking eyes, click. Click and wipe. Wuan rushed into the zombie group like the wind. The zombies that came around were originally transformed from corpses buried in the ground for many years. The skin on her body has long rotted. Seeing Wuan rushing forward, his mouth opened wide, revealing his shriveled gums and broken teeth. is disgusting to the extreme. Ordinary people have to be scared to sleep for a few days seeing this scene. But Wuan is different. The side mission released by the system is to kill zombies. Although I don't know what the specific reward is. But obviously, the more you kill, the richer the reward will be. Click. Wuan, with a claw on his right hand, directly crushed a zombie's neck with 5 times the strength. This feeling of controlling everything. It's so cool. Wu's body is shrouded in pale golden light, like a golden armor god. This is the special effect of the diamond talisman. Die to me. Wuan punched again. Originally, 5 times the strength, Wuan can hit at least 500 caddies with this punch. Can hammer an ancient tree. But the fact is more than that. The increase brought by the Vajra talisman is more than strength. And speed and agility. 5 times the power. Plus 5 times the speed. The result of is not as simple as 1 plus 1. Is soaring several times, even dozens of times. In an instant, the power of Wuan's punch increased to 2000 caddies. Tear. The air is faintly distorted. Rumbling. With the punch, at least 10 zombies flew out directly, their bodies shattered and died completely. Da-da-da. 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 More zombies continued to surround themselves with perseverance. Just, waiting for their fate, but they were all beheaded. At this time, Zhang Hulan stood there blankly. His gaze stared straight at the court, his expression was extremely complicated. Zhang Hulan is not shocked by Wuan's strength. These zombies, even without Wuan, he can solve it himself. He is thinking now, but it is what Wuan said just now. All the time, Zhang Hulan obeyed his grandfather, and hid silently among ordinary people. Try hard to live a life of ordinary people. Never thought about whether this is right or wrong. And now, Wuan's words are like lightning flashing through his mind. It seems that it is time to change. Zhang Hulan clenched her fists, her eyes suddenly became firm. Soon, the zombies on the field were almost wiped out by Wuan. Zhang Hulan, how are you thinking? The golden light on Wuan's body gradually dissipated. Exactly 10 minutes. My brother, thank you so much. Although I don't know, how did you know about me? But if it weren't for you, I would definitely not get out of this heart. I have decided that I won't live like this anymore. Zhang Hulan looked at Wuan's eyes, filled with deep gratitude and respect. If it wasn't for Wuan, Zhang Hulan, I am afraid that he will be so mediocre in this life. This man, for his help, is simply a gift of regeneration. Brother, what's your name? Is that someone near here? Zhang Hulan asked curiously. My name is Wuan. Wuan smiled lightly. Okay, I should go too. Presumably, we should meet again. Wuan turned and left. Because, at this moment, the sound of the system sounded. Ding, the main task is complete, the side task is complete. Please keep the host going straight north. Tier. A Tumaturi colorful space-time channel takes shape. Under Zhang Hulan's endless shocking eyes, Wuan stepped out and disappeared in place. Wu, who are you, Wuan? Zhang Hulan swallowed fiercely. 10 minutes later, Su San and Feng Bao appeared here. Baby, you are wrong about this. No matter what, you shouldn't involve ordinary people. Su San's tone is extremely serious. Zhang Hulan is not an ordinary person. Bao Feng was silent for half a second, and then added, in addition to Zhang Hulan, there is another man who can't even see through me. Anyone else? Su San stopped his pace and was about to ask. It's just that the scene before him stunned him. One after another zombie remained scattered on the field. As if this is not a cemetery. Is a cruel battlefield. This is. What's happening here? Su San's pupils tighten. He couldn't think that it would be the result. These zombies are driven by corpse chasers in Xiangxi. Unless you meet a stranger. Otherwise, who can stop it? But what about the facts? The remaining traces on the field are all explained, not only blocked by someone. Is still slapping these zombies completely. This feeling is. Su-san walked to a zombie wreck and sensed it for a moment. This is the breath of Buddhism, King Kong. In this matter, someone from Buddhism actually intervened. Su-san narrowed his eyes slightly. I said earlier, Zhang Hulan is not an ordinary person. And that man, even I can't figure it out, how could he be stumped by this group of zombies? At this time, Feng Baobao's mouth turned up and thoughtfully. Not only that, she has a hunch that in the future, she will see that man again. At this time, Wuan has returned to the urban world. Standing on the top of the hospital, Wuan looked down on the city, and suddenly a sense of pride rose in his heart. Originally, his future was filled with a grey despair. But now, everything has changed. With the system, he can travel through the world, and sooner or later he will stand on top of the world. When the time comes, the Wu family's revenge for destroying the door can naturally be reported at will. Even, it was extremely easy to build a family that was more brilliant than the previous Wu family. Ding, the system is checking the task. The sound of the system suddenly sounded. Main quest, obtain Zhang Hulan's approval. Mission completion status, completed. Task evaluation, perfect. Your extraordinary influence on Zhang Hulan has won Zhang Hulan's respect and admiration. Main quest reward, a silver treasure chest. Side mission reward, a bronze treasure chest. Ding, trigger the reward doubled special effect, the main mission reward is reset to 2 silver treasure chests. 2 bronze treasure chests. Wuan heard this, with ecstasy on his face. Treasure chests are divided into bronze treasure chest, silver treasure chest, gold treasure chest, platinum treasure chest, diamond treasure chest. There are 4 treasure chests. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com has made Wuan very satisfied. What's more, 2 of them are silver level. It was so cool. Turn on. Wuan's spirit was shocked, and he ordered. Ding! You opened a bronze treasure chest. Congratulations, you have obtained a copy of Xiangzi's secret art of dispelling corpses. Ding! You opened a bronze treasure chest. Congratulations, you got 10 attribute points. Ding! You opened a silver treasure chest. Congratulations, you have obtained peerless medical skills. Ding! You opened a silver treasure chest. Congratulations, you have obtained the source of Qi. I go. The origin of the body. Originally, Wuan can still deal with it lightly. But when he saw the last silver treasure chest, he was shocked when he opened the origin of the Qi body. The origin of is the most famous secret in the world of under one person. Is one of the 8 wonders. Back then, Zhang Xilan relied on the origin of the Qi body to kill countless strangers. Wuan never dreamed that such a reward would be offered in the treasure chest. This reward is too rich. Hasn't waited for Wuan to react. Suddenly, a group of people quickly walked to the top of the building. Dr. Chen, it's true, that handsome little brother. I really jumped off the top of the building. Vaguely, Wuan heard the cry of the little nurse. Blame me, I didn't stop the little brother. The little nurse blames herself. It's just that when the little nurse brought a group of people to the top of the building and saw Wuan standing with her hands behind her, suddenly, the little nurse was stunned. When the little nurse found that Wuan was standing there intact, the whole person was dumbfounded. You. Didn't you jump down? The little nurse stammered, her cute little mouth opened, and her face was full of incredible. She saw with her own eyes the scene of Wuan jumping off the roof. Even, the little nurse blamed herself for a moment before staggering to tell others. What about now? People appeared in front of her safely. Not only didn't jump down, nothing happened. How can this be? The little nurse rubbed her eyes with a cute expression. I'm bored in the ward, so come up and breathe. You should be mistaken. If I really jump down, can I still stand here? Wu installed silly. At this time, of course he would not admit it. What are you kidding? Once Wuan admitted, once jumped down. There are only two results waiting for him. One was sent to a mental hospital for treatment. Second, it was sent to relevant departments for anatomy. Because this is incredible. Is beyond the scope of normal people. How can anyone jump from the top of a building that is more than 100 meters high and nothing happened? Is it my mistake? The little nurse suddenly fell into self-doubt. But, brother, you're okay, it's always good. The little nurse is very simple. Although she couldn't understand the scene that happened just now. But I know that Wuan is fine now. So she is still happy for Wuan. Hey! Nurse Lin Shui, this kind of handicapped person may not even have the courage to commit suicide. How could he jump off the building? Just then, a strange sound of yin and yang sounded. Wuan frowned upon hearing this. This voice is very familiar to him. It was the doctor who announced his amputation with a high toe. The doctor's last name is Chen. Is quite qualified in the hospital. Under normal circumstances, no one dares to offend him. Nurses like Lin Shui are often bullied by him. But even so, I still dare not speak up. At this time, Dr. Chen saw Wuan's indifferent expression, and immediately stopped beating. Boy, stay in the ward if you have nothing to do. Your home opened the hospital? Ran to the top of the building. I tell you, if something happens to you, our hospital will not be responsible, but will sue you. Dr. Chen talked badly. This word comes out. Little nurse Lin Swexia frowned. Dr. Chen, my little brother is a patient after all. The little nurse plucked up courage. The others who followed also nodded slightly. They also think, Dr. Chen said that he was very angry. How do you say, Wuan is also a patient? What happened to the patient coming up to get the breath? Is it the law that patients don't even have the right to breathe? Can only stay honestly in the cramped ward? Patient. Just a disabled person. Do you still speak for him? Dr. Chen is disdainful. By the way, have you paid for the amputation? Dr. Chen's face is full of contempt. When the others heard this, they were stunned. Amputation. Does this young man need an amputation? It's so pitiful. He is still so young. Everyone looked at Wuan with sympathy. However, Wuan shook his head. I don't need amputation. There is nothing wrong with my legs. Wuan smiled lightly. After system repair, his body will definitely not have any problems. Is the healthiest person in the world. How can I still need amputation? Pretend, you just continue to pretend. Dr. Chen is full of sarcasm. Your case report, I have already seen it. Even the treatment plan for the amputation was written by myself. It's no use denying it. Dr. Chen cut the railway firmly. The others were silent when they heard the words. They also thought that Wuan was lying. After all, how unbearable Dr. Chen is, but he is also a doctor. I can't even read the case report wrong, right? So, they all agreed that Wuan is doing her best. That's right, if I were him, maybe I would say the same. It is true that once a limb is amputated, it is a disabled person. This kind of influence will accompany it for a lifetime. Who would want to admit? Yes, this young man is also a poor man. Everyone sighed, we are in love. Little nurse Lin Shui couldn't bear to look at Wuan more. Is it? Wuan shrugged, her face calm. Of course. Dr. Chen stepped out and walked to Wuan. I am the one who hates lies the most. Now, in front of everyone, I will reveal your true face. Dr. Chen said righteously, and his tone was filled with a strong and righteous spirit. as if he was a hero who punishes and eliminates evil. You should be uncomfortable standing now. Because the bones of your left leg are shattered, you can't bend at all. Dr. Chen is confident. Then, he stretched his face in front of Wuan. Come on, use your left foot, step on my face. Didn't you say that there is nothing wrong with your legs? Then lift up and step on my face. I promise that you will never be held accountable afterwards. What? I asked you to step on my face, do you have this ability? Dr. Chen is extremely arrogant. This scene was seen by everyone. Everyone's faces are full of sorrow. Dr. Chen's behavior is too bully. What is this? Deliberately humiliating others? Sprinkle salt on the wound? For a while, everyone looked at Dr. Chen unkindly. Even some young girls quietly recorded this scene with their mobile phones. Intends to make a small video and post it online. Arouse public opinion. It's just that, among everyone, Wu An's expression is the strangest. He has never seen it before. Someone stretched out his face and begged him to step on it. This request, he heard it for the first time. You all saw it, he said it himself. Wuan turned his head and looked at the others. This. The others were stunned for a long time, and they couldn't figure it out. What does mean? Just, I haven't waited for them to understand. Wuan raised his left foot, in the incredible eyes of everyone. Stomped down. Under one foot, Dr. Chen suddenly pounced on the ground like a dog. Under the pressure of Wu An's right foot, Yu can't move while reading www.yuyukaivenshu.com for a while. Wow! Everyone's eyes are round. This. What happened? Why can Wu An lift his left foot? But at the same time, everyone felt unusually refreshed in their hearts. So cool. Is like drinking a bottle of ice water in a hot summer day. Cool from head to toe. Dr. Chen, who was trampled on the ground by Wu An, was completely stunned. He struggled twice, trying to stand up. Found that it was impossible. Wu An's left foot is like a big mountain, and he can't move under pressure. Your leg. Your leg. Dr. Chen was shocked instantly. Wu Aneng stepped him on the ground like this. Obviously there is nothing wrong with the left leg. But how is it possible? Now I say, there is no problem with the legs, do you believe it? Wu An lowered his head, looked down at Dr. Chen, and said lightly. I believe it. I got it wrong. Dr. Chen flushed, and finally said these two words. When said this, everyone was boiling. You quack doctor, dare to make any treatment plan for amputation. Yes, fortunately the little brother is fine, otherwise, a healthy person would be amputated because of your mistakes. You will bear the responsibility. Yet, quack doctor, don't deserve to stay in the hospital to save people. In an instant, the sentiment was agitated. Dr. Chen was surrounded by people. Wu An, but left quietly, without causing the slightest attention. Just when Dr. Chen was surrounded by a group of people for questioning. Little nurse Lin Shui's eyes are wide. In her mind, she kept playing back. Wu An easily lifted her left foot, and then stepped on it. How is this possible? That handsome little brother's legs, really all right? A deep shock appeared on Lin Shui's face. Dr. Chen may think that he might have misdiagnosed himself. But Shuelin is different. As a nurse, it must be very clear about the situation of every patient. Wu An's left leg, the little nurse has personally checked it. Is indeed bone crush. Dr. Chen's amputation recommendation is definitely based on sufficient medical evidence. But now? Wu An's legs, there is no problem. It's as if the bones shattered before, it's all illusions. Is that little brother in the sky? So these injuries have no effect on him? In the shock of Lin Shui, without noticing, Wu An has quietly left. Others on the court hurriedly reprimanded Dr. Chen and vented their dissatisfaction. then stopped. Hey, where's the little brother just now? At this time, someone finally noticed that Wuan was gone. Maybe you are gone, right? It should be, after all, there is nothing wrong with people's body, and it is impossible to stay in the hospital forever. Hey, that little brother is so handsome. That's right. Stepping on a bad quack is my idol. Several young ladies in the crowd are staring. By the way, did you record the video just now? I recorded it. I will post him on the internet, so that countless people will know the glorious deeds of my little brother. And Wuan did not think about this at this time. He is now thinking about the problem of system traversal. I remember, I stayed for at least an hour in the world of under one person. But when I returned to the urban world, I found that the time in the urban world hardly passed by. In other words, the passage of the two worlds is different. Wanted to understand this, Wuan was shocked. This is good news for him. After all, he will travel through the world in the future, and he will definitely stay in a certain world for a long time. Until then, if the city world time continues to pass, it will definitely cause a lot of trouble. There are also task rewards. I haven't studied it yet. There is excitement on Wuan's face. This time through, a total of 4 treasure chests were obtained. 2 bronze treasure chests. 2 silver treasure chests. Among them, the rewards of the bronze treasure chest are the secret technique of corpse removal in Xiangzi and 10 attribute points. And the silver treasure chest, it is the source of peerless medical skills and the origin of the body. The secret technique of warding off corpses in Xiangzi, don't think about it, Wuan also knows that it is related to zombies. Wuan has no interest in this. After all, in modern society, how can there be any corpses for you to experiment? Besides, Wuan also rejects these. And 10 attribute points. System, now use attribute points. Suddenly, a light curtain appeared in front of Wuan. Strength, 10 speed, 10 agility, 10 spirit, 10 Wuan glanced at the data, and directly selected, strength plus 5, speed plus 5. In an instant, a warm current spread from Wuan. Wuan can clearly feel that his body is much lighter. Not only that, a huge sense of power is constantly brewing in every cell. Cool. Is so cool. Is so cool that it explodes. Wuan took a deep breath and suppressed the restlessness in his heart. By the way, there are peerless medical skills. Wuan suddenly noticed this reward. Came out of the silver treasure chest after all. The value alone is definitely above 10 attribute points. Ding! The system prompts, peerless medical skills, from the world's greatest genius doctor under one person. Once the host chooses to use it, he will get it, what the genius doctor has learned all his life. The system prompt sounds. This makes Wuan extremely excited. Peerless medical skills? You know when you hear it, it is a very bad skill. Otherwise, how dare you call yourself peerless? With the introduction of the system, Wuan's ideas are strengthened even more. From under one person, the world's greatest genius doctor? You must know that in the world of under one person, Wuan knows one of the greatest levels. Zhuhao. The greatest alien in history. And that genius doctor is also a similar title. Is this reward simple? No wonder it can be side by side with the origin of the qi. Sure enough, the rewards that can be opened from the silver treasure chest are not easy. Wuan finally turned his eyes to the last reward. Although I added the word junior at the end. This reward still makes Wuan excited for a long time. This is the origin of the Yang body. One of the world under one person, one of the 8 fascinating skills. Anyone who has watched this anime, who doesn't know it? However, I haven't waited for Wuan's excitement to finish. At this time, there was a sudden noise from the front. At this time, Wuan has exited the elevator and is in the first floor lobby of the hospital. The noise came from not far away. What's the situation? Wuan is a little curious. He was in a good mood, so he asked casually. An old man fell down. Look at his face, it should be dead. A passerby said indifferently. This kind of life and death is very common in hospitals. So everyone is used to it. Wuan frowned upon hearing this. He walked straight over. I saw an old man in tang suit lying in front of the hospital. The old man's complexion was pale, and even the sound of breathing was not there. Is obviously about to die. In addition, Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Wuan also found that the clothes on the elderly are very particular. It can even be said that the value is expensive. Most people can't afford it. Of course, this is what Wuan used to be, the eldest of the Wu family, that can be seen. It is impossible for ordinary people to notice this. I am not a low status, why did you come to the hospital? Wuan doesn't understand. Before Wu's family declined, he was accompanied by a private doctor before and after his trip. And the old man, obviously does not have this treatment. This is very different from what the old man wears. Please help my grandpa. Just then, a girl's voice came. The girl's voice is very crisp, but it is obviously anxious. Obviously, the old man who fell on the ground is the girl's grandfather. Unfortunately, no one is willing to help. Well, you carry him away, our hospital does not accept such dead people. Suddenly, a young doctor came over, looked at the old man, and said. Also, don't stand in the doorway next time. A good dog is not in the way. What if it affects other people? The young doctor sneered. This stopped Wuan, who was about to leave, narrowed his eyes and looked at the young doctor. Originally, although he was in a good mood. But I didn't plan to be nosy. But the young doctor's gesture of anger made Wuan frown. Are all the doctors in the hospital with this quality? The same Dr. Chen before. Now this young doctor is even more exaggerated. No medical ethics at all. Why, are you still going? Want to leave your grandfather's death in our hospital? I tell you, this is absolutely impossible. Get out of here now. The young doctor looked at the old man's granddaughter, contemptuously. When said this, the girl trembled with anger. Do you know who I am? The girl's pretty face is full of anger. She didn't expect to come to the hospital for help. Not only was there no one to help, she was also abused. Who are you? Who can you be? Are you still going to intimidate me? Do you think I am afraid? The young doctor didn't care. He simply ignored what the girl said just now. What a joke! This is a hospital. Even if you have some background. If it is not saved, the hospital has the final say. And the young doctor, obviously feel that he can represent the hospital. So even more unscrupulous. This is not the first time that young doctors have treated patients like this. Several times ago, there was a hospital as a backer, and no patient dared to pursue it. This makes young doctors even more rampant. You. The girl was so angry that she even said her words. The other onlookers who came over also showed unbearable expressions on their faces. But no one dared to stand up and speak for the girl. Still not leaving. The young doctor is going to drive the girl out. Just, right now. Wuan stepped out and stood in front of the girl. Do you know that you are breaking the law? Wuan looked serious, and said every word. Oh? What's wrong with the law? Are you still ready to get justice? The young doctor was shocked, disdainful. I warn you, if you stand in front of me, I will apply to the hospital to blacklist you. Once you enter the blacklist, you will not get any treatment from the hospital in the future. The young doctor threatened. When other people heard this, they looked at Wuan. They want to know what choice Wuan will make. But most people think Wuan should shrink. After all, the blacklist of the hospital is not a joke. There is no need for Wuan. For a stranger, go to the hospital for resistance. Wuan looked calm at this time, and could not see the slightest expression. "Little brother, go away. That's right, don't be up there." Someone started to persuade Wuan to not do stupid things. However, Wuan smiled lightly. Snapped. The next moment, Wuan stretched out his right hand and slammed the young doctor's face fiercely. "What?" Everyone is dumbfounded. The young doctor covered his face even more, and forced him directly. "You!" The young doctor pointed at Wuan, and his face was full of incredible. He couldn't even dream of it, but Wuan did not give in. Instead changed hands and slapped him. "I'll go. This little brother is too domineering. If you don't agree, do it." "But, I like it." Other people reacted, and it was boiling. Everyone looked at Wuan's eyes, filled with deep admiration. Wuan did something they couldn't even think of. Of course won the admiration of everyone. This is not the end. I saw Wuan Wang approaching the young doctor, utterly saying, "It seems that you haven't realized your mistake yet. As a doctor, it is your bounden duty to treat illnesses and save people. But you not only violated this vocation, but you also watched a life pass away in front of you. On this point alone, if it is made public, you have to go in for at least 10 years. Wuan's tone was indifferent, but she said something shocking. Words shocked everyone. At least 10 years? This is too cruel, right? And the young doctor's face was even more tarnished, and he took 3 steps back. Closed for 10 years? How can this be? He is still young. How can I be locked in for so long? What? You don't believe it? Wuan looks at the others around. You can ask them if what I said is true. Suddenly, everyone understood what Wuan meant. Yes, 10 years is still light. At least 20 years. No, I think indefinitely is more suitable. Everyone said rushingly. Various sounds directly scared the young doctor to pee. He didn't expect that he would meet Wuan today. As usual, he bullied ordinary people. Don't even know a few words. Let alone tell him the law. The girl next to stayed. She could hear that Wuan was deliberately scaring the young doctor. This little brother, why is he so familiar? I seem to have seen him somewhere. The girl looked at Wuan's tall back, with some doubts. However, at this time, her attention is all on her grandfather. I didn't think too much. Grass. After a while, the young doctor finally reacted. You dare to lie to me? I didn't kill people, what does it have to do with me? How can it be possible to lock me in with this? The young doctor stared directly at Wuan, his eyes full of resentment. Just now, it was Wuan, who made him lose face in front of so many people. Besides, this person obviously can't make it anymore. I can't save him, it has no effect on the result. The young doctor glanced at the old man and regained his confidence. These words silenced the audience. They can also see that the old man lying on the ground is very bad luck. The young doctor is right. Is it? Wuan did not flinch. You haven't checked, how can you reading www.yuyuganshu.com know that it can't be saved? Wuan sneered. He hates this kind of thing the most. Without looking at it, he just said that you are not saved. Perhaps, this is just a simple sentence for you. But for the patient, the sky is definitely falling. Are you a doctor or am I a doctor? I said there is no help, then it is no help. The young doctor looked proud. Okay, what are you going to do if I save him? As soon as Wuan said this, the audience was dead. Everyone's eyes are staring, incredible. This young man, what did you just say? Save this old man? How is this possible? No one believed what Wuan said. Some people are even a little disappointed. Because Wuan's tone is too loud. If you can save him, I can call you grandpa. The young doctor laughed angrily. He can see that the old man in front of him should be an acquired heart disease. This kind of disease cannot be cured even with the most advanced medical equipment. Is almost like terminal illness. I do what I say. But if you can't save your life, don't blame me for being rude. The young doctor said gloomily. Ha ha. Wuan gave a chuckle and turned to look at the old man. He has the peerless medical skills rewarded by the system. And peerless medicine, but the greatest genius doctor in the world under one person has learned all his life. Rescue the old man, it's nothing to say. System, use peerless medical skills. Wuan's expression condensed, and he muttered silently. System, use peerless medical skills. Wuan narrowed his eyes. Originally, he planned to study peerless medicine carefully after he went back. But now, obviously can't wait. The old man who fell on the ground, Wuan was saved. Ding, the system prompts that peerless medicine has been used. From now on, the host, you are the greatest genius doctor in the world. The sound of the system sounded without delay. Suddenly, Wuan felt a lot of knowledge in her mind. The temperament of the whole person is changing rapidly. If just now, Wuan is just an ordinary young man. But now, Wuan has changed. Looks like a genius doctor walking around the world, with a look of sadness and pity on his face. The hanging pot helps the world. Rescue the wounded. Not only that. Wuan also has a strong confidence. Is like this world, there is no one who cannot be saved. As long as he is willing to shoot, no one will die in front of him. This scene directly made everyone confused. Is he really going to save? What's the joke? Even the doctor in the hospital said that he was not saved. He is a young man, what qualifications can he save? That's what I said, but I don't know why, I have confidence in this little brother. Everyone is talking nervously. Everyone's attention is focused on Wuan. And the young doctor, after sensing Wuan's sudden temperament, his pupils suddenly shrank. This feeling. No, this is absolutely impossible. The young doctor looked shocked. Once, he came across by chance, the genius doctor who is known as Huaguo. That genius doctor is the only fruit that survived the founding period. Generational horror. Although I have retired long ago to take care of my life. But I am often invited by several leaders of the imperial capital to get their pulse and look at their bodies. The young doctor went to the imperial capital a few years ago. Saw the genius doctor from a distance. At that time, the genius doctor gave him a feeling very similar to Wuan at this time. If you have to say the difference, it is Wuan's temperament, which is more profound than the 100-year-old genius doctor. More distant. Even more unpredictable. Will not. How could this kid be like that genius doctor? I definitely felt wrong. The young doctor settled down and suppressed this absurd idea. At the same time, Wuan squatted down, pressed his right hand, and landed on the pulse of the old man at will. Weak heartbeat. Is this a condition caused by the heart? Acquired heart attack. This is simple. First stimulate the peripheral acupuncture points to wake the patient, supplemented by Chinese medicine. As long as 3 years, as short as 6 months, you can cure the disease. In just tens of seconds, Wuan came up with a treatment plan. Can you help your grandfather up? The upper body is just leaning against the wall. Wuan looked at the girl next to her and said. Hey? Yes. The girl was shocked and hurriedly agreed. When other people saw this scene, their eyes widened and their faces were blank. What is this doing? Can the patient be lifted up and he can live? Just when everyone was full of doubts, Wuan stretched out his hands and slapped the old man intimately. Everyone is more confused for a long time. Little brother, I believe you. The girl's eyes are full of worry, but she can't help but cheer Wuan. Hehe, it's a nonsense. If he keeps like this, let alone save people, the patient may not be able to hold on for 10 minutes. The young doctor sneered again and again. Just, I haven't waited for him to finish. The pale old man spit out a mouthful of black blood. What's wrong with me? Although the old man is still extremely weak, he has obviously recovered a bit. At the very least, I can open my eyes soberly. Grandpa. The girl's eyes reddened, and she threw herself up. You almost lost it. The girl cried with joy. Hiss. Seeing this scene, everyone in the audience couldn't help but breathe in air. Shock. Everyone's faces are full of shock. What happened just now? Yes, why did the old man wake up suddenly? It's incredible, it's incredible. Why does this little brother just woke up after just taking a few shots? Didn't the doctor just say that people are out of help? Then what's going on now? My God, is this little brother a genius doctor? No one can calm down. The most shocking and unbelievable is the young doctor. His legs are trembling, and the whole person is frightened. He was still taunting just now, the patient is in Wu An's hands, and he will not live for 10 minutes. But the next moment, the old man will wake up. This is just hitting him in the face. Not only slapped him physically, mentally smoked him again and again. This. The young doctor stared at Wu An, completely panicked. He never thought of it. Wu An actually rescued the old man. Do I really want to call him grandpa? Thinking of this, the young doctor almost ran away. What are you still waiting for? Hurry up! At this time, Wu An looked at the young doctor. In front of so many people, do you want to regret it? Wu An seems to be smiling but not smiling. Onlookers heard the words and looked at the young doctor. Under the gaze of so many people, the young doctor's face is pale. Master, Grandpa. After a while, the young doctor squeezed these two words out of his teeth. When said this, everyone burst into laughter. Little brother, thank you very much this time. If it weren't for you, I'm afraid I can't make it through this time. The old man reluctantly stood up and said gratefully to Wu An. Obviously, the girl just explained what happened just now. The little brother is rejuvenating, you know, the problem of the old man is not good for ordinary people. The old man smiled again. Over the years, he has been to both Chinese and Western medicine and even some famous medical institutions abroad. No one can save him. Thank you, brother. Girls are also sweet. It's okay, you reading www.yuyuganshu.com should be. Wu An smiled lightly. By the way, your heart disease is only temporarily relieved, and it has not been cured. I will write you a prescription. Take it on time every day for up to 3 years, and it should be fine. Wu An wrote a prescription for Zhang and handed it over. Cure. The old man was shocked. Wu An can cure a problem that countless doctors at home and abroad are helpless? The girl's pretty face is also full of incredible. She heard it clearly, Wu An said it was a cure. I have something to do now, let me go. Wu An turned and left without hesitation. He has done everything that should be done. As for whether the old man believes the prescription, Wu Aneng is not in charge. If you believe it, you can live. The others looked at Wu An's back, with all their faces in admiration. Save people without leaving a name, I'm talking about this kind of person. The young doctor's face is extremely gloomy. At this time, there was a sudden rush of footsteps. Everyone was stunned and couldn't help but turn their heads to look around. I saw a group of people in white coats coming quickly, their faces full of eagerness. This is Dean Zhao? Why did he come? Not only Dean Zhao, but also leaders above the hospital's chief physician are here. Someone is stunned. Dean, are you here? The young doctor stayed, with ecstasy on his face. Dean Zhao, headed by, ignored everyone and stopped in front of the old man. Then, he bowed deeply and respectfully said, Lao Yat, are you okay? Old Yat. Headed by Dean Zhao, many hospital leaders behind him bowed again and said respectfully, "Boom." This scene almost made everyone on the field stare. They were still curious just now, what is the matter with so many leaders coming from the hospital? But now, everything is clear. Last name yet. Could it be that he is the old man from the Donghai Ye family? Someone couldn't help but guess. Ye family, one of the 4 top families in the East China Sea. A year ago, when the Wu family was most brilliant, it was at this level. In Donghai City, the 4 top families are undisputed overlords. Monopolizes nearly half of the GDP of Donghai City. Lao Ye, are you okay? I rushed over as soon as I received the call. Ding Zhao burst into a cold sweat and said cautiously. He knows the energy that the old man in front of him controls. Don't look at him now as the director of a tertiary hospital. Infinite scenery. But as long as you offend Ye Lao, the next day, he, the dean, will be replaced. Humph, if you hadn't met a kind little brother, you wouldn't have seen my grandpa. The girl gave a cold snort. Ms. Ye said that this time I was negligent. Ding Zhao bit the bullet and said. It is indeed your negligence. My grandfather originally planned to come out alone to relax. But as a result, a heart attack. It happens to be in front of the hospital. I just thought, let you save grandpa. The girl's tone is full of anger. But what happened? The doctor in your hospital is planning to kick me and grandpa out. You said, is this your negligence? The girl will eat every word. Lao Ye, Miss Ye, this. Ding Zhao really panicked, his face was full of panic. Well, Mayfair, they don't even know about this. Just then, Ye Lao spoke. However, the quality of hospital doctors needs to be improved. Ye Lao glanced at the young doctor coldly. I'm wrong. I was really wrong. The young doctor looked terrified and his teeth were shaking. He knelt directly on the ground. Lao Ye, I really didn't know it was you. Otherwise, even if I borrow 10 courage, I dare not do this. The young doctor kowtows for mercy. So it was him. Lao Ye, I know what to do. Ding Zhao's eyes are splitting. He finally knew who was the culprit who caused Ye Lao. I announce that you were expelled from the hospital. Also, I will promote your bad behavior to the entire Chinese medical community. Since then, no hospital dare to hire you. Ding Zhao stared straight at the young doctor. If it wasn't for murder, he would have thought of killing the young doctor. As soon as these words came out, the young doctor just feels the world is spinning. Over. It's all over. After announcing the treatment of the young doctor, Ding Zhao turned around, looked at Ye Lao, and tentatively said, Lao Ye, are you satisfied with this? Hey! It's cheaper for him. Ye Lao did not speak, but the girl Ye Fei gave a cold snort again. There's one more thing. Ye Lao spoke suddenly. There was a young man here just now, you help me find out who he is. Ye Lao said solemnly. What? Does that young man also offend Ye Lao you? Ding Zhao was surprised again. Lao Ye can rest assured, I will let someone tie him back. Ding Zhao hasn't finished yet. Snapped. Old Ye directly stretched out his hand and slapped him. I only saw Ye Lao, who was calm, and his face showed anger for the first time. Tie it back. What a courage. I Ye Zhenming's savior, you can tie it. Wow. Ding Zhao's eyes widened. My grandfather's heart disease was rescued by that little brother. The little brother also said that this disease can be cured. Ye Fei also looked at Ding Zhao with a bad look. What? Ye Lao's heart disease can be cured. Ding Zhao is completely stunned. Ye always has heart disease, they know it too. And they know very well how difficult it is to completely cure this kind of heart disease. It can be said that even if international medicine has been developing for 20 years, no one is sure to cure it. But now? Listening to Miss Ye, is there someone capable of curing this disease? Still a young man? This is impossible. Ding Zhao denied it in his heart for the first time. What a joke! That's right. Just then, Yelao also spoke. I believe that little brother can heal me. Yet old tone, with a trace of desire. Although Wuan has already given him a prescription. But he still hopes that he can meet Wuan and thank him again. And Ye Fei's face also showed a trace of firmness. She decided to find Wuan even if she paid a great price. At the same time, a short video suddenly became popular on the internet. In just a few hours, more than millions of views. The video is easy. It was Wuan before, on the roof of the hospital, he taught the doctor surnamed Chen severely. At that time, someone happened to record this passage and post it online. Now, this short video is completely hot. Hundreds of thousands of bullet screens continue to emerge. My God, this little brother is so handsome. So happy. Now in this society, there is a lack of such a righteous person. It's a pity, there is a problem with the video shooting angle, I can't see the face of my little brother. You are content, even if you can't see your face, you can at least distinguish the fuzzy features. Yes, although it is vague, but this little brother, Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com must be handsome. Brother, I want to marry you. I want to give you a monkey. Wuan didn't even know that one of his random actions would become popular online. Fortunately, his face was not clearly exposed at the time. At this time, Wuan, after leaving the hospital, returned home directly. The so-called home is actually just a rental house of tens of square meters. Since the decline of the Wu family, all assets have been used to repay debts. As the heir of the Wu family, Wuan didn't even leave a penny. Has fallen to the point of renting a house. But Wuan did not give up. No money. He can go to work and make money. So Wuan went out as a part-time tutor after finishing school. Go out early and return late, and earn more than 2,000 a month. Barely enough to survive. But in the upper circle of Donghai City, Wuan has become a laughingstock. The dignified Wu family, you need hard work to support yourself? Nini, I'm back. Wuan opened the door and said. Because of the acquisition of the system today, he is not in a hurry to make money part-time. There is a system that can travel through the world, but are you afraid of not making money? Take a shower first, and organize what happened today. Wuan suddenly made a decision. Nini, I will take a shower first. There is bread in the refrigerator. If you are hungry, take a few pieces of bread to eat. I'll cook for you later. Wuan said hello and walked straight to the bathroom. It's just that when he opened the bathroom door, the scene inside made him almost spray a nosebleed. I saw a woman standing in the bathroom. The point is that this woman is still changing clothes. The coat on her upper body has been taken off, only a black bra is left, and the short skirt on her lower body has faded to the heel. Perfect figure. Looks alluring. Is like coming out of a picture scroll. Especially the bottomless gully, it makes any man addicted to it. A flat belly and a pair of slender thighs are perfect. At this moment, this woman is facing Wuan sideways. As a result, Wuan did not recognize who the woman is in the first time. Who is it? Wu calmed down and woke up instantly. If it were before, he might sink into a moment. But now, Wuan gains the system and travels through the world, and sooner or later he will stand on top of the world. Until then, what kind of woman can't you want? So, Wuan's complexion is very calm. Not only that. He is still wondering, why is there such a person in his home? What? Are you back? At this moment, the woman finally reacted. My shower broke down, so I borrow yours. I have already told Nini. The woman looked a little hurried, and quickly put her bath towel on her naked body. Sister Qing. Wuan saw the woman's face clearly and was shocked. Sister Qing is a neighbor of Wuan, Her full name is Su Qing, she is about 20 years old and lives next door. Wuan doesn't know much about Su Qing, only that she is a stewardess. However, Sister Qing really likes Nini. Often send delicious food to Nini. It's okay, it's all neighbors, it's okay to help each other. Wuan smiled indifferently, and retired directly, without any nostalgia. This made Su Qing stunned. She knows how great her temptation to men is. Regardless of body shape, appearance, or temperament, it is enough to drive most men crazy. I don't know how many big and young people in Donghai City want to chase her. But as a result, Su Qing refused. And just now, she was almost naked and was seen by Wuan. Originally thought that Wuan would be animalistic. But, this man, not only did not do that, but looked as usual. Looking at Wu Jingwubo, there is no reaction at all. Didn't he see it just now? Su Qingzia frowned. This is the only way to explain Wuan's performance just now. Brother, are you back? I forgot to tell you just now, Sister Qing is taking a bath. After Wuan left the bathroom, he saw a girl rushing over. The girl is about 14 or 5 years old, with delicate features and fair skin, as if she could pinch water. At this time, she was wearing pink pajamas, as if she had come out of the second element. This girl is the younger sister Wuan picked up. Nini. Wu's family declined, Wuan became a rat crossing the street, everyone shouted and beat. Only Nini, who has been silently supporting Wuan, has never changed. Nini, I know. Wuan rolled his eyes. I've read it all, of course I know. Brother didn't see anything, right? The girl blinked her eyes. Wuan still didn't speak, the bathroom door clicked and Su Qing walked out with wet hair. Wuan, didn't you eat? I brought something to eat, go and eat. Su Qing glanced at Wuan, with a sense of scrutiny. She is still testing, Wuan, did she see anything just now? Thanks Sister Qing. Wuan did not back down, and said very calmly. Su Qing was stunned. You need to know that Wuan, who used to be seen casually by her, would bow her head shyly. And now, instead of bowing his head, he looked straight back. This feeling is very peculiar to Su Qing. He must have seen it just now. Definitely is. Suddenly, Su Qingqiao blushed. Brother, come here, Sister Qing bought a lot of delicious food. I haven't eaten, just waiting for my brother to come back. Nini pulled Wu Enyi corner and dragged him inside. In her opinion, any good things should be shared with her brother. Thanks for your hard work when I am away. Wuan looked at Su Qing while eating. What is the total cost of these food? I will pass it to you. Wuan has no habit of taking advantage of it. No, these are all given to me by others. I dare not eat, I am afraid of gaining weight. Su Qing shook his head. By the way, brother, Sister Ling just called and said to come later. Nini Nyonyo's voice sounded. Sister Ling? Wuan frowned slightly. Is it Yun Muling? Wuan speaks. Yes, it's Sister Ling. Nini glanced at Wuan strangely. These words made Wuan's face sink down. Yun Muling, from the Donghai Yun family. And the Yun family is one of the 4 top families in the East China Sea. But in the ranking, the Yun family must be below the Wu family. A few years ago, when the Wu family was in full swing, the Yun family decided to marry the Wu family. The marriage partner of the Wu family is of course Wuan. At the time, the Yun family had 2 daughters. The eldest daughter Yun Wu, the youngest daughter Yun Muling. Finally, the Wu family chose Yun Wu. After all, Yun Wu is suitable for his age alone. As for Yun Muling, he was too young at the time. Wuan also looks down on this little girl movie. Later, Yun Wu really lived up to expectations. At the age of only 18, he took charge of Yun's enterprise and increased the market value of Yun's enterprise by half in just 2 years. Plus Yun Wu's perfect face, strong background, and unparalleled business talent. Let Yun Wu become a billionaire beauty president in Donghai City in one fell swoop. Now, the entire Yun family, Yu reading www.yunsha.com. Yun Wu has a pivotal position. Even, it can directly influence major decisions. Originally, even if Yun Wu's status is so high, can't get rid of the fate of Wu An's fiancé. After all, even with Yun Wu at the helm, it is difficult for the Yun family to surpass the Wu family. But a year ago, Wu's business empire collapsed and everything changed. Yunjia never mentioned the marriage contract again. Actually, this is normal too. Wuan can also understand. The marriage of the Yun family is to value the strength of the Wu family at that time. And now, even the Wu family is gone, why is the Yun family willing to fulfill its promise? How can Wuan be worthy of Donghai's hot and beautiful president? It's just that understanding is due to understanding, and Wuan is not feeling well. So he doesn't wait to see the Yun family at all. And Yun Wu's sister, Yun Muling, seems to apologize to Wuan for this. It's just that Wuan has blocked the contact information of all Yun family members. It is difficult for Yun Muling to contact Wuan. In the end, Yun Muling could only retreat and hit the target on Nini. Often use Nini to inquire about Wuan. Don't you want to see Sister Ling? Then I tell her not to come. Nini noticed that Wu An's face was wrong, and she was sensible. Su Qing also looked at Wuan in surprise. She has never seen her, Wuan has this expression. It's okay, let her come over. This matter, it's also time, it's a break. Wuan narrowed his eyes, revealing a hint of cold light. At this time, ding dong. The doorbell rang suddenly. Wuan got up and opened the door. I saw an extremely stunning beauty standing outside the door. The beauty is about 18 years old, tall, exquisite, and exudes this cool temperament. What's more rare is that this beauty is completely pure natural gas. One glance and one smile, fascinating. Is not like some influencers on the internet. Although it looks good, most of them are fine-tuned through plastic surgery. Is missing such a soul. This beauty is naturally the younger sister of Wu An's fiancé Yun Wu. Yun Muling. Strictly speaking, she is Wu An's sister-in-law. Because of Wuan and Yun Wu's marriage, it was not cancelled. Sister Ling, you are here. Nini looked at Yun Muling with bright eyes. Well, Nini has grown taller again. Yun Muling's voice was very cold. Seems to be uploaded from the 9 days. Really? Nini wants to grow up quickly, so I can help my brother. Nini looked happy. In her eyes, as long as she can help Wuan, she will be very happy. What? Wuan, don't you welcome me? Yun Muling turned his eyes and looked at Wuan. Of course not. 2 daughters of the dignified Yun family, it should be my honor to be here. Wuan shrugged, non-committal. Is it? Yun Muling's pretty face showed a touch of darkness, and then followed Wuan and walked in. Let's talk, what can I do? Wuan sat on the sofa, looked at Yun Muling who was fighting with Nini, and said. He didn't believe it, Yun Muling came to him personally, but simply visited him. There is indeed something. Yun Muling was silent for a moment, and apologized, my sister, want to chat with you for a while. Your sister? Wuan repeated. Yun Wu. Wuan frowned slightly. The Yun family has 2 daughters. Yun Muling is the only one who can call her sister, Wu An's fiancé, the beauty president of Donghai City, Yun Wu. Kin Cloud and Pasture Moon, why suddenly want to chat with him for no reason? You know, Yun Wu has never contacted Wuan actively since the decline of the Wu family. Yes, Wuan, I hope you do some preparations, no matter what my sister says later, don't care. Yun Muling said cautiously. To be honest, Yun Muling has a mentality of indebtedness to Wuan. After all, Yun Wu and Wu An's marriage contract was proposed by the Yun family. In the end, it was the Yun family who did not comply with the agreement. I know. Wuan smiled lightly. How could he care? Get the system by yourself, travel through the world, and be destined to stand at the top in the future. A cloud house in a mere guts? A cloud and pastoral moon? How could he care about anything? Okay. Yun Muling frowned when he saw Wuan's expression. She suddenly found out, Wuan is different from before. Before Wuan, if she heard her say this, she would definitely show unwillingness to resent and other emotions. But now, there is only peace on Wuan's face. Calmly scared Yun Muling. Hope. Yun Muling shook his head, took out his phone, and clicked on the video call. After was connected, she handed the phone to Wuan. At this time, on the screen of the mobile phone, there is an office of hundreds of square meters. In the middle of the office, there is a perfect woman sitting. The woman has a charming appearance, wearing a hand-cut black skirt and a white shirt on the upper body, which outlines a seductive silhouette. If you say, Yun Muling still has a hint of immature. The woman in the phone is already perfect. No matter how you look at it, it's perfect. Can't find a trace of defects. Wuan, long time no see. Yun Wu spoke, her voice was ethereal, like a moving rhythm. It's been a long time indeed. Counting time, it's almost a year. Wuan raised the corners of his mouth, revealing a slight mockery. 1 year ago, the Wu family collapsed. Since then, Yun Wu, you haven't contacted my fiancé even here. Wuan, I know you are wronged. Yun Wu frowned. But you should be considerate of me. The Yun group is so big, with thousands of employees, all decisions are made by yourself. I have to count the time I sleep, how can I take you into consideration? Yun Wu's expression turned cold. Originally, she was still considering whether the decision she made was correct. You can see Wuan's attitude. Yun Wu suddenly felt fortunate for herself. Because she suddenly found out, Wuan and her, there is no need to continue. She Yun Wu, who is in charge of the Yun group, is the beautiful president of Donghai City touted by millions of people. And Wuan, without the Wu family, he is just an ordinary person struggling with food and clothing. What qualifications does have to become her husband? Wuan, there is something I want you to know, our previous engagement, cancel it. Don't worry, as long as you agree and don't continue to struggle, I will pay you 10 million in compensation. I heard that you adopted a younger sister? You are short of money, right? As long as you nod your head, there will be no such problem. In Donghai City, 10 million is enough to make you live a rich life. Yun Wu's tone was filled with a touch of charity. As soon as these words came out, Wuan was taken aback. Marriage cancelled? 10 million? Wuan shook his head, with a slight disdain on his face. If he used to, he would really consider. Just now. Sorry, I think you think too much, right? Do you think I will beg you to keep you? Funny. Wuan said lightly. Wuan, you. I know I'm not reconciled, I think I'm humiliating you. Yun Wu had already prepared, as if she expected Wuan to say so. It's just that today is different from the past. Now, you are no longer the eldest master of the Wu family. I hope you will consider it carefully. Yun Wu looks calm. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com is like a winning ticket. Wuan smiled lightly when he heard this. Yun Wu, you value yourself too much. You have today's position, do you really think you are on your own? If you weren't my Wuan's fiancé, do you really think that the directors of the Yun group would obey you? If you take over the Yun group, will it go so smoothly? An inexplicable aura suddenly rose on Wuan's body. This momentum comes from the world's greatest genius doctor under one person. In the world of under one person, this genius doctor walks the world and saves countless people. Up to the emperor, down to the people. Who hasn't seen anyone? So, naturally, Cultivate an aura of watching everything. Let your power be overwhelming, but I will decide your life and death. This momentum was inherited by Wuan. Without my Wu family backing up, do you think you would have today? Wuan made a loud noise, and his inexplicable aura broke out. In front of this kind of momentum, even Yun Wu, who was across the phone screen, was completely stunned. She didn't expect that Wuan would have this kind of aura. Yun Muling was also shocked. Su Qing looked at Wuan complicatedly. There is only Nini, who has always been a cute expression, but I haven't realized the change of Wuan. Yun Wu, I tell you, the marriage contract can be cancelled. Wuan eats every word. S momentum began to rise infinitely. However, it was my Wuan initiative. 3 months, in 3 months, my Wuan will go to your Yun's house in person. Retirement.